Hey everyone, Henry here. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how I got into the wedding videography business. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about my journey on how I became a wedding videographer. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. So in 2012, I got my degree in radio and television broadcasting. My plans were I was going to move to the Indianapolis area and work at a TV station. I wanted to be, a producer. I wanted to, edit videos. I mainly just wanted to work in a TV studio. So I sent in resumes. I did cover letters. I went to job fairs. I did a little bit of networking. And each and every one of them, said, great, you have your college degree in radio and television. How many years of experience do you have? And at the time, I only had 3 years of experience, and I told them 3 years. And they said, sorry, you need to have at least 4 years of experience. Here I am, fresh out of college, dirt poor, wife, kid, trying to find a job. I can't go back to school because it costs money. I couldn't even afford a camera then. So time went on, tried to find jobs. Nothing came up. I started working in fast food places, one job after another. I sort of accepted that I was never going to get into the radio or television broadcasting field. And then I ended up finding myself bouncing from one fast food place to another, and we just started trying to build our lives, me and my wife and my daughter. And then after a few years of kind of jumping around from one fast food place to another, and all these different jobs and stuff, and I still had all these ideas and these big dreams that I wanted to do, but I had some of these issues like anxiety, and it was bad anxiety. It was to the point where I wouldn't do things because these thoughts of you're not good enough, or you can't take charge, you hardly finished college, so you can never run a business, or you're not smart enough, or no one's going to listen to what you have to say. So I had all these thoughts and this anxiety, running through that really held me back for a long time. I even got a tattoo that, says you are enough. So then all of these problems were just building up in me and just really holding me back from pursuing, my dream or my passion, what I really wanted to do. I even remember back in college, one of the things I wanted to do was produce some ongoing sort of a TV show, kind of with Family Guy, American Dad, Rick and Morty, something like that, but publish it to YouTube and just kind of have an ongoing series of some stupid cartoon episode, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do that because I'm sure by now YouTube would not allow that. That plan didn't last very long because I couldn't get enough people on board, and it was just way too much work at the time, and it was just ridiculous. I started eventually working at this one place that pretty much just made bread and sandwiches, and then I kind of got to the point where I was just feeling this is my life and I'm kind of stuck, and I'm just going from one fast food place to another, and I'm not doing something that I truly enjoy and I love doing. So I heard of people doing, videography for events, weddings, birthday parties, corporate events, that sort of thing. But I started going to this church. The pastor was real into like graphic and design and like video editing and all that sort of thing. And they were hosting this huge event for like an egg drop where they brought in a helicopter and they dropped all these eggs and stuff onto this field, and the kids would run out and grab them all. But he asked me to film the event. So I jumped on and said, yeah, sure. And even before that, I actually filmed like a friend's wedding, like my wife's friend's wedding. And at that time, I kind of didn't want to do weddings. I just wanted to do, music videos and stuff and like film concerts and stuff like that. I mean, that would just be like so cool and everything. And then for a while, I was just like, I was like, I don't want to do weddings, but I'll do them just to kind of get my foot more into the door, do a little bit more networking, etc. But eventually kind of grew on the fact of me that like with the music industry is like awesome and great and stuff. It would be fun to do it. However, there was just where I was at, there wasn't enough money for that. People were paying like way more for weddings than like music video or something. But don't get me wrong, I mean, I love the music industry. I love going out and filming concerts, doing little like teasers and snippets for different bands and content for them, and just like producing it for them and doing it for like real cheap for like a weekend that I mean, I would just be like sitting at home playing video games or something, and like I wouldn't be doing anything. I'm just kind of that person that I don't like to be bored. I like to do things productively. Sometimes I do like playing video games and stuff when like, I've had a very long week, did like a lot of hours, a lot of editing, a lot of shooting, and I just kind of want to just unwind, relax, play some video games, watching TV or something. So yeah, it became a very slow start, as you can tell. I only did like 1 or 2 weddings a year, quite honestly. And there was one year like I didn't get any bookings at all. And then I also like kind of started swinging back and forth, like, do I really want to do this? Do I, really, I really enjoy my weekends. So I don't know if I want to give that up. So eventually I just got to a point in my life where I just got so bored, like with my job. I eventually got to like this factory job of like building machine parts. And like at first it was kind of cool and stuff. And then like eventually I just got so bored with it because it was the same stuff every day. But it was a different day, of course. I mean, I wasn't using my creativity. And I even started talking more about doing wedding videography. I was like this big dream of mine, and like I want to start doing it. And like my wife just finished college to be a teacher, and here she is being a teacher, and she's fucking awesome. And so then I wanted to be awesome. I want to do something cool, and that's going to change people's lives, or be able to look back on something and reflect on it. Like, I want to make a difference in someone's life. That was like one of the big things like I wanted to do. And being creative and, making videos, filming people's weddings, and just going off with this business and just doing it. Like, forget like all the anxiety and the fear that I had. Just do it. I mean, I even was talking about it, and my wife looked at me and said, "I'm tired of hearing you talking about this all the time, so do something." And which was true. I did a lot of talking about stuff, but I never did anything about it. That was another problem. But again, it was probably just related to, my anxiety or something. Like, too afraid to, make that jump. Eventually, like, I found something called The Knot and Wedding Wire. And I was calling around, making all these calls, talking to people and stuff, and how they're, guaranteeing to put you in front of, like, hundreds of brides looking for a videographer to film their wedding day. And I went ahead and just started with, like, the basic package, which is, I kind of regret doing that, because it was just really hard to get started off of that. I mean, I got a handful of leads, but it wasn't very consistent. And I think maybe I only got like one booking out of it, out of the whole, like, the basic package that they provided. And honestly, I was just about to throw in the towel. I don't know if I even broke even for that year, because I also got a website and I got another camera and I got a gimbal, and I think I even got another tripod too, and a few lights, another audio device. But I've spent all of that money, and even including the knot, I was just like kind of fed up. Like, right. I mean, I was right. I'm not good enough for this, and I can't do this. And I don't have enough money, or actually, I don't have money to start a business. I have a wife and 2 kids. And again, the whole, I'm not good enough. I can't do things like on my own. Like, I've literally had people like in my life say that to me and about me, how I just can't do things on my own. I'm not smart, and I'm trash, and that's all I'll ever be. Just all those things just like running through. Again, just, I mean, the insecurity of, just being built up like, you can't do this because of, all those things, and all those excuses that, you come up with, and people telling you these things. So yeah, I was really about to just throw in the towel and just call it quits for wedding video business. I told myself one more year of trying this. I don't have money. I have nothing to give. I am in the negatives with my video business. Like, I'm literally in debt because of this. And it's going to be hard getting out, because we hardly make things work financially. So I said, you know what? I'm already in debt. I mean, I don't have anything else to lose. So I decided to upgrade my package from the knot to just like a middle package, where I will be on the first page no matter what. I was going to be like close up to the top or something like that. And then one of my friends from work that I worked with, his son was getting married, and he asked me to film, their wedding day. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. I filmed his wedding. It went really great. Everything looked really nice. I even had a drone then. I did some drone footage. I sent everything in. He even gave me a review, and I told him about like my subscription with the knot, and he sent a review on there. And after that, I had a few more people. I noticed more people were coming in, and eventually I started doing more weddings, and I started asking them for reviews, to send me reviews on the knot, and they started doing that. And then like one by one, I started racking up all these reviews on the knot. And then like I ended up doing like, I think like 15 weddings like that year or something like that. And then after that, like I just started getting to like every single weekend, just like that. It was crazy. Like I remember it was like January. It was starting around like, the week after New Year's. Like I had people after people after people, just like a line out the door of like people lined up, are basically just like, take my money. And I had started having a lot of success finally. I started like raising my prices more and more and more, little by little, and I'm still just getting all those people in. So basically it just comes down to like honestly just networking and knowing how to like advertise yourself and put yourself in front of those potential clients that you want. All it takes is just a matter of time and practice and being good with the camera. Like it's not just picking up a camera, point and shoot, or picking up your phone and point and shoot. And please, for the love of God, do not use a phone to film weddings. Or like, honestly, I'm like totally on board of not using a phone to film things whatsoever. It just doesn't look professional. Like, yeah, hold still. It doesn't look professional when you have, a decent camera. Like right now, I just use my A7R Mark II to film weddings, and it does great. And like through this video, I've been just showing you guys footage from it every now and then, and a little bit of my drone footage that I do for the weddings. And all it takes is like practice with your camera. Like go out and just shoot stuff. I do stuff for stock footage for fun, and I get money off of that too. Like every month I'm, making sales off of like Black Box. Yeah, all it takes is a little bit of practice. Knowing your composition, knowing your camera settings, knowing camera movements, and using, the focal lengths right and correctly to tell your story and move it forward. All it takes is, practice, and eventually you're just going to get it. And that's basically what I did when I started to grow my business, and I started to get over that, fear and anxiety, and I just started practicing, using my camera for all kinds of things, whatever excuse I needed. I picked up a camera and just started using it and figuring out what works, what doesn't, what looks good and what doesn't look good, and just using what I've learned. Mostly I learned from my mistakes, because those mistakes, I don't do it again. So eventually I did have to quit my job at making machine parts, because my wedding business just practically just blew up and just took a life of its own, because I got my camera settings down. I figured it out. Again, it's all about that experience and knowing how to use it and knowing how to put yourself out there in front of those clients that you want. So that's it for me today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.